I want people to have access to the best properties out there and get the house hacking right away, right there.
But I think each investor is going to have their own needs in the way that they're going to access the property. The house hacker is going to be looking for investing in one specific way, whereas the seasoned investor who's got multiple properties is going to be looking at things a little bit differently, and be able to normalize using whatever their conditions are to a specific number of a return on investment. Like everybody talks about cash flow, talks about capital appreciation, all this stuff. I mean, let's just normalize it right back to how much money did I put out and what is my return over whatever period of time. This way you can normalize and say, my Airbnb gave me a return of this amount. My, Sixplex gave me a return of this amount. My investment in bonds gave me this amount. My crypto or whatever else I'm going to be investing in gave me, this return. So then you can look at all the different returns and say, based on those and my risk profile and the amount of capital that's required, the amount of credit that's required, what am I able to do based on these different scenarios, and where will my return come back as? And I think, those calculators that you're working on and producing those, those are going to be unbelievable tools, for landlords and for investors to be able to use, and for house hackers to be able to use to say, hey, this is the house that I think I can get into. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you worked on partnerships to bring in data sets, from different, data brokers for rents and that kind of a thing to pop it in. Yeah, in different areas so that people can look at it and see what do the data brokers say? Like what are we seeing from that side? And I think being able to pull that in gives people, some upfront basic information before they can make that decision. And I think that is a really strong feature of the software for sure.
Thanks. Yeah. As a team, as a company, we're stoked about developing it, and it's a lot of help from a lot of people, and especially from you and people who are in industry experts. And that's what we want, because that's what we're building, something which means people who are involved in industry. That's kind of what we're building, and we're pretty excited about it. And we do have it up there, and we keep improving it. How, like I said, if I put my dollar into it, what's the best return that I can get out of that?
Listening to your customers, listening to the market that you want to get into, rather than telling them what you're going to do is going to give you a faster out the door to give you a base of revenue. Your market's going to tell you what's important. You might think something's important, and it's not. But man, are you solving needs in the market, especially in a timely position where, Airbnb, returns are going down, where interest rates are going up, where vacancies are at an all-time low and incomes are struggling. And you've got such a perfect timing to create a solution to solve so many people's problems. So it's listening to them and saying, tell me what the problems you're having, and we're going to make this a massive success out of this. And I think your pivot on it, especially getting the calculators in there, I think that's huge, because then people, before they get into the situation, they can make the decisions before they get there. I mean, my biggest thing for people is do some work up front before you make a decision. When people are buying, if it's a small decision, like buying a candy bar, who cares? But when you're going out and investing, a couple $100,000 and tying yourselves to, potentially $1 million worth of mortgage debt, you're going to be in a situation, you got to make that decision intelligently, because it's going to lock you up for a period of time, because you can't exit. It's not like a stock where you're like, oh, I'm watching it go down, I'm out. There's going to be a cost to enter and a cost to exit. And that generally means you have to be in that investment for a period of time. So you've got to make the right decision. And having those numbers up front really helps you make the right decision.